All right, everybody. It's episode 11, Andor. This show is awesome. I'm just going to say that. It's such a great show. I love the show so much, and it's just getting better and better. All right, before we even get into it, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Carbon Health, for sponsoring this episode. And the Monday episode's a big thing. They're so great. If you don't know about them, they have 110 locations nationwide, just 80 locations in California. They have urgent care and needs at all locations. It's amazing. You can start a relationship with a professional that you can trust to take care of yourself. We love them because we agree they feel that everyone deserves a healthcare provider who is an active partner supporting you in your efforts to feel better and to live healthier. They have care teams that have life support and resources that they need to able to focus and build a relationship with you. Again, we love working with them, and they know that healthcare and health goals can change, and even sometimes within the same day. From routine to urgent care, anything in between, they've got you covered. So we love health. We love Carbon Health. We really, really do. You want to learn a little bit more about them? Go to the link in the description. Check them out. We've been with them for a little bit, and we're excited to continue to work with them. They're fantastic. I love what they're doing. All right, Andor, man. This is such a great show. I love it. And I don't want to get into a full debate about it. I just keep seeing people I'm friends with, people I like, saying that this is not Star Wars and it's boring. You're out of your minds. You're out of your minds. Nuts. Yes, this is absolutely core Star Wars. Star Wars. And it continues with Cassian on a run with his buddy, who we see in Rogue One. And his poor bastard's hands are numb. They wait for people to flee. They look like, okay, we got it. These two aliens just fishing. And then we're gonna be just fine. And the aliens are like, look at these assholes. Yeah, put them in a net. And then right away it just looks. I mean, they're about as creepy as they get, right? And one of them's talking gibberish, Yoda style, and the other one is just like, yeah, I'm gonna go straight up. I'm gonna talk in my language, and we'll just mess with these two. And it turns out, oh yeah, you know what? We got the same enemy. I'm not a big Empire fan either. We'll give you a ride. Just don't try to steal our shit next time. Don't piss in the water. And they got off there, and it's fine. And it was a little convenient. Yeah, maybe so. But I didn't mind it. And I like the fact that we're blending in aliens. Everyone's like, there's no aliens. There's no this. Take it. Build. Again, slow building. I don't mind slow building. There's a big difference between slow building and boring. Major difference. Every little thing counts, and the emotion of what happens in this show counts so much, and what has continued to happen throughout this episode, because we find out also that Cassian's mom has passed, Fiona Shaw, who was his adopted mom, but his mom nonetheless, and I liked how they did it. They didn't show it. She just passed, and the little piss bot who got pissed on in the first episode, who's a sweet little guy, he just doesn't want to come out of his shell, and people are like, come on, buddy. We need your help here. Come on, help us out. And he just wants company. I loved the scene. He just wanted company. He just wanted to hang out. I think he wound up saving that dude's life. He said, stay over. He said, just for the night. I think that staying over that night's going to wind up saving that dude's life, because the Empire and Dedra, they're making a plan. And I loved this plan of just this is ruthless, just showing once again how ruthless the Empire is. Like, hey, you know what? Give them the funeral that they want. Sure. Let me know as soon as Cassian. Everybody's looking for Cassian. We got our boy Cyril, who is still in his mom, who I believe is the tan lady now at this point from Something About Mary. I know she's not, but she seems like, hey, can you stop the loud phone calls at night? Come on, trying to take a rest. Watch the midwife. But either way, it's that whole scene when the guy that I liked in the first few episodes was screaming at him, "Come on, man, wake up, snap out of it." He's on patrol somewhere and he can't really be heard. And he's telling him, Cassian, his mom passed away at the funeral, and that's enough to get our crazy lunatic potential serial killer Cyril out there and out and about. So they just these little setup pieces of showing, because they've set it up so well how obsessed he is with finding Andor. He's just obsessed. And that's the wrong thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's fine. And so either way, they get back. Andor's on the run, and he's able to do his thing. And then they have the other side piece that they've been working on. And so now Vel comes in, and she's like, "Okay, where is he?" And she's trying to put on the whole shtick of, "Well, what piece would you like?" She said, "Cut the shit. Where is he? You're not following the rules. Where is he? Does he know? Does this, that?" And he's out doing his own adventure right now. He's got something else going on. But Vela's like, I'm sick of this. And she's starting to throw that weight around. And to which she has a great conversation with Mon Mothma down the line, who we'll get into. But then the main story to me, again, when Luthen is the one who is the he runs this story. I mean, he's been running it. And I was a little nervous for him in this episode. But he shows up, because we had this conversation, myself and I think it was Kalinowski, I'm not sure. We were talking about how many times we think we're going to see Saw again. And I said at least once by the end of the season. At least once. And he showed up, and he came back in. And I loved this scene. It's a great scene. The writing, it just continues to get better and better and better. Like, he's like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna go on your mission for you. No. And Luthen's like, nah, I don't think you will. We're good. What? He was so into it before, and now he's just gone. And Luthen's like, yeah, well, here's the deal. That guy I was gonna set you up with, he's gonna be dead, and all his buddies too. And it's like, Saw's like, and Saw gets it. So what I loved, he's like, you know about this, and yet you're letting him go. And it's this whole conversation that the two of them are having. And then he's just like, who inside do you have working in my crew? And he's like, it's two tubes. And two tubes like, what are you talking about? And the two tubes thing, when he shows up, and he doesn't, two tubes isn't speaking basic. He's talking his English, his alien language. And he's sick of the whole people. He's got a lightsaber he's got with the guy. Who knows? Who cares? He goes in, and Two Tubes is like, that's not me. This is bull. He's like, I'm proving a point. Takes the gun. He's like, you're not going to make it out of here alive. He's like, it doesn't matter. That's not the point of this. Point is this. You want to play the long game? Think about this. I just want you to listen. Do you want to play the long game? Do you want to try to win this thing? Or do you want to just warn this guy, and then we warn him, and then they know the gig is up, jig is up. I always mess those two up. Either way, something's up. And Saw gets it. He's like, let's call it war. So that was a great scene, bringing that back in. Now, I was satisfied through this already. And I'm watching this whole thing going, and I remember saying to myself at one point, I'm like, oh, man, you're going to already hear people going, oh, nothing's happening. They're just talking the whole time. Well, because and nothing more this is true than with Mon Mothma, who is really in a position right now. You see how in debt she was, and the money and covering up this the 400K credits, and Valis come and try to help, and you see how she got in, and Luthen warned her, and then her daughter is like starting to join like a cult, and she's got to marry the daughter off, and it's such a Mon Mothma is such a complicated character now, and they added so much to her. But for those people that wanted the action, well, then you got it. Nobody can complain about the action now in this one. This scene was fantastic. Luthen is on his way out. He's like, all right, and then the Empire comes up behind him. They want to board him. And he's going through these whole things, and his ship is just, of course it is. It's armed to the max. It should be armed to the max. And he's got all these cool toys, and he's waiting, and he's stalling, and finally my favorite part of the whole thing, the whole scene was fantastic, but my favorite part was this, when he just brings out those lasers and sideswipes the TIE fighters, and the TIE fighters are coming out, and then he zips away, and the Empire, at one point, the guy, the Imperial literally shakes his head and goes, that's not good. And it was such a great scene where you just see the power of what Luthen is not messing around. Luthen is like, I got something to do. And I was a little nervous for him in that scene. I'm like, they can't take him out yet. There's no successor yet. Mon Mothma has not stepped into that role yet. She is still figuring her way out of her life as it is now. She's still in that. Tay's got to help her out, and she's got to figure all this stuff out. She's not in that position yet. And I love the fact that Luthen is I'm from Alderaan. Fit that in there. This was about as spy thriller of an episode as you get, even from the Imperials that are sitting around watching at the funeral and watching everything going on, the back and forth with everybody. Everybody's concerned about this funeral, and the one person who didn't even know about the funeral was Andor, which is really a heartbreaking scene, man. At the end, he's on the phone. He's like, and he's telling the guy. He tells the guy 6 times, "Stop using names." The guy's like, "Yeah, sure, Cass, but don't say my name." "Oh, Cassian, I'm sorry, so sorry." "Hey, stop. No more names." "You got it, Cass. But listen, I've got to tell you something about your mom. She ain't here no more." And then he just like he has a conversation. He's just like, yeah, everything was fine. And our boy from Rogue One is like, hey, we got to split up. So they got to know what's going on here, because this is messed up. We got to figure it out. So he's like, yeah, and he's just devastated from his mom's loss, but he's still listening. And then there's a great scene that is mimicking the end of Rogue One, where he's looking out at the ocean. He's at peace for just a moment. And even that scene, he's just saying, like, it seems like a dream at this point, but it's kind of like a foreshadowing to the ultimate end of Cassian, but not yet. He's got more to do in this show. You assume he's going to go back. I hope he doesn't go back. It's all going to go down in that last episode, because there's going to be a few more. I don't know if Krennic will show up yet. They'll probably get him for season 2, if I was to guess. I saw a couple comments saying that they wish that K2SO would have shown up to lighten up the mood. I don't want the mood lightened yet, personally. I don't want the mood lightened up yet. It's not time to be lightened up. Lighten it up in season 2. And even Pissbot is sad right now. Everybody's sad, and they should be sad, because it's not happy right now. Things are dire. And I love it. And that scene with Luthen inside of that ship, man. And this is what I was trying to tell people, like, too. I did a few polls I did one on Twitter and one on this channel about what is the best Star Wars show. Now, I will say this. Mandalorian is still my favorite Star Wars show. I think that Mandalorian combines all of the things of Star Wars that make Star Wars great. Like, all of the things. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of, the Force is my favorite thing, for sure. But Andor is, to me, easily the best written and produced, directed, acted Star Wars show that we've gotten. It's one of the best shows this season, this year, excuse me, in general, not just Star Wars, just in general. And it's because of the writing, but it's like, and I push back so much. And again, people that I'm friends with that say that this is not a Star Wars show, or that it doesn't have core Star Wars, and it's not. This is a portion of the Star Wars galaxy that is expanded, and you're learning more about it. It's about as Star Wars as you get. The politics behind it, the influence of what George Lucas originally made with all the with fascism and all this stuff in general, and the way that it plays, and the building and constant building throughout it. You see, and there's stuff, and you look, whether there's the TIE fighters and the X-wings that Saw has, and the alien language. It's all it's just not thrown at you like boom, boom, right. It's right in your face. It's Star Wars. It's like gradual. And the thing that I always loved about the original trilogy is everything seemed lived in. Everything seemed like it was there. Like that's what this show is. That's what this show is. And I'm all for, Acolyte is probably my most anticipated show in Star Wars for a very long time because of the Sith lore. That's my thing. That's what I love. But I'm also not going to say, because there's no Jedi, there's no Force, there's nothing there's no space opera stuff, that it's not Star Wars. Of course it is. This is about as Star Wars as it gets. And I love this show. It's really, what a pleasant surprise this show has been. But I want to know what you guys think. What's your thoughts? Comment, let me know. I got to hear it. Got to hear those thoughts. Please do so. And if you're brand new to the channel and you haven't been here before, do me a favor and subscribe. Trying to get to 70,000 by the end of the year. If so, we're going to try to take this on tour. And we'd love for you to go on over there, subscribe to the channel, get us closer to that number, if you please. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll be back, by the way, on Sith Council tonight to talk a little bit more about this episode, myself, Steph, and Mike. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side.